Content marketing isn't just for course gurus. In fact, content marketing is one of the most efficient ways to market your software startup or any business really, and especially for people that don't have thousands of dollars to spend on ads yet. Just this year alone, I've grown my Instagram page from 200 followers to almost 150,000 followers, while also adding over 25,000 people to my email list. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on exactly how I grew my account and exactly how you can do the same, and how I also turn these views and followers into paying customers for my different companies. So if you want to learn how to do the same, make sure you watch to the end of this video. So let me talk about the mistake that I see most founders make when they're trying to put out content online. The number one problem that most founders are making is in their first videos, they're making hyper-specific videos that use a bunch of niche terminology that only a very small population of people will understand, so they never even stand a chance of reaching the wide demographic that they're trying to do, and they're never able to go viral. And so while content like this is great when you already have an audience, or just to throw inside of like a program to teach people how to use your software, it is not good to cast a wide net to actually grow your social media following, at least not at the start. And so something that I learned early on is that there's such a wide demographic of people that don't know some of the terms that might seem obvious to you and me, but you have to understand the language that the people you're trying to reach is familiar with, and you have to use that language only if that's who you're trying to attract and trying to grow your brand. And so your social media, it doesn't matter if it's on YouTube like this or if it's on Instagram, you have to understand that it is a funnel. So you have your top of funnel content, your middle of funnel content, and your bottom of funnel content. So let me break down these three different types of content for you. So you have your top of funnel content. And so this is people that don't know who you are. And this is where you're trying to cast a wide net so that way you can go viral and reach new people and turn views into followers. And so these videos have to have viral potential. So I've kind of broken down the formula of how to generate viral videos. So in general, in creating a viral video, I found that you need to either name drop or say a thing that every single person is familiar with. So some examples, some of my most viral videos, I've mentioned Iman Gadzhi. Everyone knows who Iman is right now. And even if you go look at YouTube videos that mention him, they all tend to get a lot of views because they're piggybacking off of his virality and his search volume right now. Now you could also just name drop a thing that everyone would recognize. Like I made a video about the movie The Social Network, and a lot of people were familiar with it. And so that video reached a lot of people because the moment I say social network, it grabs the attention of every single person that's familiar with that movie. So after you grab their attention in the first second with either a person's name or a thing, etc., then I like to say something not necessarily controversial, and especially not in an ignorant way, but like maybe challenge a belief that they had. And so in my most viral video, I said Iman shut down his agency to go all in on SaaS. And that was a little controversial because a lot of people then came and said, no, he shut down his agency for this reason, or it was for this reason, or some people didn't even know he shut down his agency. And so it sparked a lot of controversy in the comments, which obviously boosts the algorithm and makes the post reach more people. Another type of viral archetype that always does really well is any type of simple 3-step tutorial. So if you can say, here's how to do X in 3 simple steps, or anything like that, where it's a very step-by-step detailed tutorial that people are gonna wanna save and they're gonna wanna rewatch it a few times, that's gonna do well because when they save it, when they rewatch it, again, that tells the algorithm that people like that content and pushes it out to more people. So an example for me that does well, here's how to start a software company without knowing how to code in 3 simple steps. And then it would be like, find your idea, choose your builder, go-to-market strategy, right? Videos like that always perform well for me. Now, when I went viral and when I actually went from 0 to 100,000 followers in 95 days, my phone started to get blown up from even bigger creators than me. You know, all of my different friends were hitting me up and they were saying, dude, this is crazy. How are you converting so many followers? Because so many people get way more views than me, but they don't get nearly as many followers from each video or from as many views. And so they're like, what is your trick to converting so many followers from your views? And I actually had to sit and think about this for a while. I couldn't figure it out for a long time. And I just sat there and I was trying to think about it. And I was like, why am I converting so many followers compared to other people they get tons and tons of more views than me? And I ended up figuring it out. If you really just want to get views, it's easy to do. You can put together like a feel-good kind of platitude lifestyle mesh like you see all these people do, where they show themselves in the cars and the watches, on the boats, all the stuff that makes people feel good and it's like motivational. And all they do when they see those videos, so they're scrolling on their TikTok or their Reels page, right? And they see a video like that and it makes them feel good. They like it and they just keep scrolling, right? They don't really follow that person very often because they're just like, oh, it's a feel-good video, like, scroll, and then they look for the next feel good video, right? That's how they operate. Now I'm just sitting in front of the camera like this. I'm not showing a lifestyle video. It's not necessarily a feel good video. It's just very educational or maybe challenging a belief. And the key word here is belief. The reason that I gain so many followers is because I convert people's beliefs. So for example, in my viral video, when I said Iman Ghazi shut down his agency to go on SaaS, I said Jordan's doing e-com, Jordan Welch is doing e-com, and I name dropped a few other guys. And I said, they're all telling you to do one of these other business models, but in reality, they're all focusing on software. And so that challenged everyone's belief that knows those people. And they're like, this guy actually has a point. These guys are all preaching these different business models, but they're all actually doing software. So I changed their belief, because previously these people had the preconceived notion that agency is the best business model, dropshipping is the best business model, maybe consulting is the best business model. And they were like, if all these people that I look up to are actually focusing on software, this guy's got a point. Maybe I should look into this and I want to see what else he has to say. And so instead of them just like swiping and like, going on to the next one, they're like, this guy has a point. I want to see what else he has to say. And then I also backed up my claims by flexing like my own expertise and my own social proof of exiting my company Closeify, of all the different things that I've done. And people can tell through my content that I've actually done the things that I'm talking about. So that is why I've been able to gain so many followers, is I convert people's belief and I back up what I say with case studies and experiences of things that I've actually done. So we just covered how you can make viral top of funnel videos and what the key is to convert views into followers. And the other important thing to note is you want all of the videos that you're posting to be top of funnel, viral potential videos until you have at least bare minimum 10,000 followers. Until then, do not move into this next type of content, which we're gonna call middle of funnel. So your middle of funnel content is not gonna go as viral, but it's going to nurture the followers that you just gained, and it's gonna turn them into followers, into people that are actually going to pay you. So the best example is the top of funnel content for me is convincing people that they should get into software, right? And so then if I just keep telling them that over and over and over again, they're like, okay, dude, you convinced me to get into software, now tell me how. So then my middle of funnel content is like, here's pricing strategies for software. Here's how to get your ideas. Here's how to figure out which no-code builder to use. Here's how to build a landing page for your software. Here's how to get your customers with cold email, with content marketing, like this video, like how to run ads, all these different types of things that are actually like how-tos around software. So I'm now educating and nurturing them around the business model that I convinced them to do. And so if you went back and looked through all my reels, you'll notice I started to throw in a lot of these after I got a larger following. It became very middle of funnel content focused of just how to do very specific things around the software space. And so we're guiding people through this funnel. From the top of funnel, they had no idea who I am. They got introduced to me. I changed their belief. They're like, okay, software might be something worth looking into. Let me see what else this guy has to say. Then I start hitting them with middle of funnel content of here's how to price it, here's how to get ideas. So then they see that content and they start thinking about it. They start trying to get software ideas. They start trying to look into no-code builders. They start trying to build their MVP on one of these platforms. They're actually actively trying to start this business model now that I'm talking about. That is the purpose of my middle of funnel content. And then the bottom of funnel content, so this is when we're trying to get conversions, this is where we're trying to actually get them to take an action, is all of my call to action. So it's when I put up a story post telling people to join my newsletter, or when I tell people to book a call for our venture studio, or when I put up a story post for people to use Fine Tuner, which helps people, build some of these AI spin-off SaaS companies. And so then, now that I convinced them to start a software company, I showed them how. Now maybe they're like, oh, this is a guy that I want to work with. I want him to, actually build my company for me and consult me along the process. I'm going to book a call with him and see what his venture studio is about. That's the bottom of the funnel content, is a call to action to get them to actually want to work with me. Another good example of like middle of funnel content and kind of bottom of funnel as well is you see a lot of creators right now that are creating free courses, or maybe they're very inexpensive courses. And the only purpose of the course is to plug people or to put them into their software ecosystem. So they might put out a course like, here's how to get clients using Twitter organic. And then it's a really good free course, but in order to like actually use the strategies they're teaching, you have to use their tweet scheduling software, right? And so that's a really good example of a way that you can use a free course that's educational, good content to funnel them into your software company and then get that monthly recurring revenue on the back end. And so So if you want to learn how to make YouTube videos like this that actually get you customers, not just viewers, I actually use HubSpot's YouTube roadmap for my whole channel. So basically they start you off with telling you how to design your channel, how to make a good looking banner and optimized profile overall. And then they help you get like the feel of what you want your channel to portray. So like questions to ask yourself to decide how you want your content to feel to the viewers. And then they ask you questions to figure out what type of content that you should actually post and how to come up with video ideas. And they even take it a step further of helping you figure out the type of searches that you should be optimizing for, because YouTube is a very search optimized platform. The SEO is very huge. So if your video title and the tags and the description, all these different things aren't optimized for search volume, then your videos aren't going to perform as well. And so it helps you through all of this, from setup to getting your content ideas to optimizing for search, all of that. So it's gonna be linked in the description. I highly recommend that you guys go check it out, because it is literally the roadmap that I followed to a T for my channel, which has grown to 27,000 followers in the last year. So it's in the description if you guys want to check it out. So now I just dropped my complete content strategy for you guys of how I create viral videos, convert the views into followers, make middle of funnel content that actually convinces them that this is a model, and I show them how to do the model. And then the bottom of funnel is your call to actions to book a call, send them to a landing page, send them to your newsletter, and then in the newsletter you promote your stuff, etc., etc. But this is phase one, and this is what most people are doing right now. But there's a next step that no one is doing yet that is going to put you way ahead if you can execute this in 2023 and into 2024. And so right now, my content strategy has been super successful in growing all of my different companies. My newsletter is a company, it makes me money. Fine Tuner, it's grown very, very well for my audience. My venture studio grows very quickly. I have a call center that's grown for my audience. And the problem with this is something that I preach a lot is right now it's way too attached to myself. It is way too attached to my name, to my social medias, that when I want to sell these companies in the future, it's going to be a very difficult thing to do because it's so attached to me. But now the fact that I've mastered content marketing on my own personal social media profiles, now this is going to make step two way easier for me, which is hiring creators to make new social media assets for my companies that my companies own the rights to. So let me give you some examples. This is also perfect for the founders that are like, hey, I know I'm not a content guy. I'm really bad at content. I don't like it. I don't even want to sit down in front of a camera, even try to do it. And so this is also for you, but it's also for people like me that we're just trying to multiply the amount of content going out for our different companies. So there's a new trend now where not only just like e-commerce brands, but actually software companies and even B2B software companies are starting to hire creators to make content for their software. My buddies at Instantly, which I've used multiple times as a great case study, are starting to do this, where they hired a creator to make YouTube videos for them. But even though the creator is the one running the YouTube, Instantly owns that YouTube page, and they just pay that creator a monthly fee to find video ideas, record the video, edit it, produce it, etc. But now that creator is building a media asset that Instantly owns, and it grows instantly. And it's an evergreen media asset because YouTube channels constantly get views as long as people are searching the terms around the videos. So what could this look like? So I have an overarching company called No Code, No Problem. And so right now it really just grows right from my own content. But let's say I go hire 5 creators and I get like 3 of them to make me new Instagram accounts, and I have 2 of them make new YouTube accounts, and I pay them all like a flat monthly retainer, and I also pay them like a percentage of sales that they bring in. But my company, No Code, No Problem, owns all these media assets. So now we own 3 more Instagram accounts, 2 more YouTube accounts, and let's say they all make a newsletter. So we have like 5 more newsletters as well. And over the course of a year, they grow those, and they're probably not gonna grow at the same rate as mine, right? But I teach them how to make high converting content, just like I just did with you guys. Maybe I write some scripts with them. I help them get YouTube video ideas, all these things that I've learned just from making content over like the last year. And so all of a sudden, a year, 2 years goes by, and now not only do my companies grow from my account, but now they grow from 3 other Instagram accounts, 2 other YouTube accounts, 5 more newsletters, and then let's just say I keep adding more and more creators, and eventually, let's say 3, 4, 5 years down the line, yeah, my account is still gonna be growing, and I'm still gonna promote my own companies, but now I have an army of creators that are making content for my companies, and my companies all own the rights to these new media assets. And so now when I go to sell these companies, not only is the acquirer buying the company, maybe the tech, the customer base, but they're also buying these media assets. They're buying this media conglomeration that's growing the companies on autopilot that they just bought. Now that is going to be a super attractive thing for someone to acquire, because own distribution is the most important thing going into 2024. Trust me on this. It's literally just like owning a bunch of digital real estate for your companies, and it's one of the best things that you can do, because I can tell you firsthand from my experience this year, growing companies with content marketing and owning social media assets is infinitely easier than doing it the way that I used to do it with all outbound strategies, building sales teams, cold email, cold calling, etc., etc. So the strategies that I just shared with you are what scaled my companies super quickly and scaled my social medias from 0 on Instagram to 146,000 followers at the time recording this. I've gone from like 0 to 27,000 subscribers on YouTube. I've got over 25,000 people in my newsletter, and I just told you guys the exact strategies that I do in this video. And so the best time to start content was 6 months ago, a year ago. The second best time to start is now. So I hope you guys paid attention and took notes during this video. Outside of just growing my companies extremely rapidly, content has provided me with so many opportunities this year that I would have never gotten a glimpse of otherwise. So if you guys are still sleeping on content, it is a non-negotiable going into 2024. So if you want more nuggets like this, I have a free newsletter where I send daily emails of all the things that are working, not working in my different companies. And I also have my venture studio I mentioned, where if you have a software idea and you want my team to build it and you want me to consult you on your go-to-market strategy, and even more in depth in content marketing, I'll leave the link below for both of those things in the description. And outside of that, I will catch you guys in the next video.